What's up guys, Reminisce. Today we'll prepare the guide for Voldis Abyssal Dungeon Game 1 and 2. We're going to introduce the main patterns, important patterns, counterattack patterns, and basic patterns. Let's get into it. Game 1. Game 1 is not difficult at all, so don't worry. It's similar to Braille just like Game 1, easy start for players. Main pattern. 85, eat green seeds and stagger. At 85, the boss moves to center and shoots green seeds and purple seeds all over the map. Green seed increases stagger rate with max 3 stacks. Purple seed erases stagger buff and imprisons the player who has 3 purple stacks. After eating green seeds, stagger bar appears. Stagger the boss dodging yellow zones. You can be caught by the plant, so be careful. 48, reflect pattern. At 48, boss moves to center and becomes a thorn bush. Thorn bush reflects your damage, so don't touch it. Steal yellow marbles and pink marbles spawn around the map. Erase yellow marbles and feed pink marbles to solve the mechanic. Let me explain in detail. Yellow marble. As mechanic begins, target mark appears above one random player. Plants the outer section follows the player with target mark and tries to grab the player from the ground. This grab attack can erase yellow marbles, so if you have a target mark, pull the aggro, stand a yellow marble to erase them. Tip: dodge when the plant gets right below you. Even though you need to use tentacles to erase yellow marbles, you should dodge the grab attack before the tentacle appears. Watch the movement, and dodge this yellow circle. Avoid spores. If someone fails to erase yellow marble, yellow spores spread. The yellow spores can make you fall asleep, so avoid it or wake others who fell asleep. Pink marble. Attack pink marbles twice with normal attack. Then pink marbles will run toward the boss and the boss gains 1 stack per 1 pink marble. If it reaches over 15, the boss gains dust debuff. Throw a flame grenade or use fire element skills after the dust debuff. Tip: check the blue icon before you throw a flame grenade. When the boss turns into a thorn bush, the boss gains the buff, which reflects the damage. This buff remains for a long time, so you must check it before you throw flame grenade. You will die if you throw flame grenade when this buff is on. Therefore, please throw flame grenade as soon as blue icon disappears. Counterattack pattern. Rush. The boss spins and quickly rushes. Clones. Boss disappears and 4 clones appear. Counterattack the one with blue effect. Basic pattern. Green disc. The boss shows green disc above his head and throws toward the other player. Hurts loss, so be careful. Stamp and explosion. Boss stamps and nearby explodes. Safe close to the boss. In or out. The boss spins with pink aura and shows safe zone. Outside safe with flower mark. Inside safe with no flower mark. Medusa. The boss charms players who are looking at the boss. Charm players walk toward the boss and falls asleep by the spores. To dodge the spore using spacebar or get away from the boss. Gate 2. Gate 2 is more difficult than Gate 1. It's dragon people. The basic term. First, what is Restraint Sphere? Before we get in, you need to know about the Restraint Sphere. Restraint Sphere is an item which can restrict the dragon during Gate 2. You throw it beneath the dragon, it activates after 5 seconds, and restricts the dragon standing on the sphere. The dragon you will meet have 2 buff stacks in the beginning, but then it becomes 3 and 5 as time goes. The game is over when the buff stacks up to 5, so you need to use the Restraint Sphere to lower the buff stacks. When you use another Restraint Sphere on the boss which is already getting restricted, the dragon falls and Destruction Mark appears. Throw Destruction Bomb. If party members destruct the boss, buff stack goes down and the boss becomes immune to Restraint Sphere for 40 seconds. Second, Blood Orb. During Gate 2, 4 blood orbs constantly come out of the dragon and run back to the boss. The boss recovers HP when blood orb comes back, so eat all of them before they reach the boss. If you leave it, it explodes and gives AoE damage, so you must eat them. Furthermore, Blood Orb is double-edged sword. It gives buff and debuff at the same time. Buff. Lowers cooldown and increases attack speed along with identity gain. Debuff. If you get hit by the boss, HP constantly gets down until it reaches 10%. While HP gets down to 10%, blood marbles come out of your body. You can restore your HP by eating blood marbles, but you can get one shot by the boss as your HP is around 10%. Absorb blood marbles if you think it's safe. Use potion if you think it's dangerous. Third, sustaining one restraint sphere on the dragon. Most of the time, you're going to restrict the dragon and fight the restricted dragon during gate 2. And it's important to sustain the dragon restricted because the boss cannot use dangerous mechanics. So let's check what happens when the boss gets restricted. If Restraint Sphere activates, the boss slams the ground, floor explodes, and Stagger bar appears. Stagger the boss, this will be repeated. The boss then does several basic patterns. Stagger bar appears. Stagger the boss. Second stagger requires more stagger rate. The boss does several basic patterns again, and Stagger bar appears. Third stagger is impossible. This order is going to be used for our tactic, which is going to make the raid a lot easier. The Gate 2 Restraint Sphere tactic. Now let's learn the best tactic to make the Gate 2 easier. Before you enter Gate 2, decide who is going to throw Restraint Sphere as a main and who will support the main if Restraint Sphere misses. You did? Great. Encounter. Stagger, 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 counterattack. Stagger, stagger, disrupt. As you encounter, main player throws Restraint Sphere. Restraint Sphere, first stagger, second stagger, third stagger fail, 180 degree, dragon breath, counterattack, Restraint Sphere, and the boss gets down by a counterattack, first stagger, second stagger, destruction, and the boss gets down by the second stagger. If party DPS is strong, destruct the boss after the first stagger. If party DPS is weak, you need to reach a 95 with no Restraint Sphere. After a counterattack, if the timer gets lower than 7 minutes, boss uses counterable pattern per 1 minute 20 to 40 seconds. There are two types, tail whip and rush. Counterattack the boss and the main player should throw the Restraint Sphere and never miss the timing for an easier raid. Furthermore, destruct the boss whenever you need to. If party DPS is low, destruct the boss and wait for the next counterattack pattern. Main pattern. A 95, stare pattern. In 95, the boss moves to center and stares the closest player. The boss breathe fire if the player stands in front of the boss, or run in a circle to prevent dragon breath. Other players instead of the main stare should run to their positions. 1 in 5, 7, and 12. Soon, 3 small dragons spawn and small eye appears above one random player. Same with big eye, the player with small eye must run in a circle and not stand in front of the small dragon. If the small dragon catches the player, small dragon explodes and game's over. Meanwhile, other 2 players must counterattack the small dragon and kill the dragon with small stare. Counterattack failed, game is over. Tip. Supporters should stay at center around 95. When the boss moves to center, it stares the closest player. Normally, supporters stay at center to pull the aggro, and DPS classes stay away from center. Don't stay in front of the small dragon. When a small dragon spawns, we don't know which player the small eye will be given. If you stand in front of the dragon and small eye pops up, it immediately explodes. To prevent disaster, players must stand right next to small dragon and distinguish whether it's counterattack or small stare. 30. Cross the road pattern. At 30, the boss climbs up the wall. Players gather at center and run to the opposite side of the boss. The then point of view changes and the dragon shoots fire for once. Now players must run toward the boss and stagger it. However, dangerous marbles which imprison players constantly spawn. Avoid imprisoned marbles and stagger the boss as soon as possible. Also, the dragon breathe fire if it takes too long, so you cannot stay away from the boss. You must reach the boss and stagger it. Mechanic solved. Tip: wait in front of the boss to find the empty space and use spacebar to quickly get in. After staggering the boss, players gather at center as outer zone gets restricted. The boss's HP becomes 80 and turns into a rage mode. As soon as point of view changes back to normal, the boss uses one basic pattern between two types: slam or rush. Party members can 100% land Restraint Sphere during those basic patterns, so let's learn how. If it's slam, the boss airs one random player and slams for the aggro player. So someone should throw a Restraint Sphere at center, and the aggro player must stand on the sphere to make the dragon jump on top of the Restraint Sphere. When the boss jumps, the aggro player should use spacebar to get out. If it's rush, the boss rushes back and forth. Throw a Restraint Sphere as soon as point of view changes, then the boss will get caught during rush. Easy capture. When the boss gets restrained, destruct the boss whenever you need to. After the destruction, if there are no more mechanics, kill the dragon. Tip: when you fail to throw a Restraint Sphere on the boss, additional chance is given later. After some basic patterns, the boss walks into fire and prepares one specific pattern: rush, rush, dragon breath, slam. Don't use Restraint Sphere during rush. Think it as slam pattern. Throw the sphere at center after the dragon breath, and aggro player pull the aggro. Don't miss the chance. Basic pattern: Iron Tail. The boss crouches and attacks with tail. Safe near the restrained foot. Slam and explosion. The boss slams and land explodes in star shape. Safe near the restrained foot. Multiple slam. The boss slams several times and land explodes in cross shape. Flamethrower. The boss breathes fire in 180 degrees or 90 degrees. Fire floor. The boss breathes fire and fire floors appear beneath players. Then land explodes in donut shape. Move to dodge them all. Scratch. The boss turns around and scratches. Safe near the restrained foot. Bite. The boss grabs players in front. Tail slam. The boss slams backside with tail. Entropy killer. Tumbling. The boss jumps up to the sky and spins backward. Tumbling usually comes out when you throw a Restraint Sphere on the boss. After 95, the boss tries to dodge the Restraint Sphere using tumbling pattern. So cell player should throw another Restraint Sphere on where the boss will land. You got the boss? Great. You failed to capture the boss? Wait for counterattack pattern. And that's it for Flower and Dragon. Thank you for watching our video, and please feel free to join our channel if you liked the video. Thank you.